I've been unable to post for a few weeks because I have not felt well. In fact, all of the school seems to have come down with some kind of virus. Attendance is at an all-time low with both faculty and students. We have the symptoms of a nasty flu bug: watery eyes, fever, congestion, nausea, pain, and a sense of our limbs being weighed down by a tremendous force. Some days I struggle to will up my body to move. It's like my brain and vessel are disconnected. I've used up all of my sick time, so no matter what, I will be at school for the remainder of the year, which is only 6 days. I am unsure where to even start, because it has been so long since my last update, and my brain doesn't really want to cooperate with me today, or most days anymore. I guess the best place would be back when the cell phones rang. Every student in my classroom answered their phones and then just sat there listening. Their eyes glazed over as they sat erect in their seats, nodding in unison at various intervals of the conversation. This felt much different than before. There was no malice on their faces, no eagerness in their stares, and no interest in my actions. They appeared to be having a mindful, albeit one-way chat with someone on the other side of the line. The beacon of warning inside my head was still going off, but without as much urgency as before. Instead of feeling the need to stay still, I felt the need to intercept the call and stop whatever force was on the other side. Carefully, I walked up to the nearest student and gently eased the cell out of her hand. She did not put up a fight. I doubt she could have in her catatonic state, and only after I had brought the phone to my own ear did she respond by looking at me. All she did was nod and then reposition her hand next to her ear, as if she had possession of her phone and not me. Funny thing, she still nodded in perfect synchronicity with the rest of the pupils. Wearily, I raised my arm to put the speaker to my ear. I paused midway, hesitant to witness whatever was causing them to behave in this manner. What if I were not immune to this like I was the intercom? What would become of me if I too began to be influenced by the sinister presence that had been plaguing my students for the past few days? Knowing there was no way to find out without listening, I held the phone to my temple. There was nothing there but static. Confused, I laid the phone back down on my student's desk, where she greedily grabbed it and put it back up to her small ear. Mere moments passed before all the students put their phones back down. The buzz of conversation in the classroom revved back up, and no one seemed to be affected by the call. Their lack of bizarre behavior was somehow more unsettling than their previous actions. I spent the last hours of my day standing in my doorway, waiting for something to happen. Nothing ever did. The day ended much like every other day of my career, with teenagers happily grabbing their backpacks while goofing off with their friends in the hallway, and then heading out to the buses to go home. Apparently, the other faculty is just as fed up as I am, because they all listened on the call as well. It was the same for them as it was for me. Nothing but static. I don't know what to make of their behavior. How can they nod and interact with static? It was all so bizarre. The administration set out an all-call cover the first weekend banning any electronic devices at school. They were really trying to eliminate any source of disturbance that could cause the students to be altered. To ensure everyone is following the rules, the faculty has to meet the students at the front of the building and escort them to our classrooms. First, They are searched by our student resource officers and held in the gym. And then we pick them up from the gym and take them directly to our classes. It feels a lot like a prison here, but it eases everyone's mind. It was around day 3, after a cell phone event, that everyone started to fall ill. First, it was just a few students here and there. Nothing like that first day back at the beginning when half the kids were out. However, it quickly escalated into a full-blown pandemic. Over 75% of the student body has been out since last Monday. My school is staffed by more substitute than full-time teachers. Men in white hazmat suits wander around the building like worker bees, decontaminating to contain the virus, but it doesn't seem to be doing much to help. None of the students who have stayed home sick have come back yet, and more are failing to show each day. Honestly, I don't know how I'm going to make it much longer. It might be worth taking the dock and pay just to be able to stay in my bed and rest. Surprisingly, my family has all remained healthy despite my raging fever. I wouldn't wish this on them. But it is odd for a virus to only affect one member of a household, especially one with this high of a transfer rate. At least it appears things are calm. There have not been any more frequencies, transmissions, static-laced cell phone calls, or whatever they all were. Not that it would really matter at this point. Who are they going to contact? I'm currently only teaching about 10 kids a day, and they all look pretty weak. I just hope we all get over this horrible illness soon. I feel like a zombie. Edit. Due to some continued questions, I will do my best to continue writing. The format may be iffy because I'm really not feeling well, and my thought process is scrambled.
Get tight anymore. Hungry brain hurts, hungry students back. Hungry to teachers back. Hungry to sorry, very hungry.